Today's daily verse comes from Matthew chapter 7, verses 13 and 14. It reads, "You can enter God's kingdom only through the narrow gate. The highway to hell is broad, and its gate is wide for the many who choose that way. But the gateway to life is very narrow, and the road is difficult, and only a few ever find it." This passage is part of Jesus' Sermon on the Mount, presents a stark contrast between two paths and their respective destinations. It uses the metaphor of gates and roads to illustrate the choices individuals make in their spiritual lives. The broad highway and wide gate represent a path of ease and popularity, a route many choose. This path, however, leads to hell, a symbolic representation of spiritual ruin or separation from God. The language here isn't necessarily meant to be taken literally as a physical location, but rather as a state of being. The wide gate suggests a path that accommodates a multitude of desires and behaviors, likely those that prioritize worldly pleasures and immediate gratification over spiritual growth and moral discipline. Conversely, the narrow gate and difficult road signify the path to God's kingdom or life, representing a state of spiritual fulfillment and union with God. This path demands effort, discipline, and a willingness to forego certain worldly comforts. The narrowness of the gate implies that not everyone is willing or able to make the sacrifices required to enter. The difficulty of the road suggests that the journey is not easy, requiring perseverance and dedication. It also implies that this path is not popular, as only a few ever find it. This is not necessarily a statement about predestination, but rather an observation about the choices people tend to make. The core message of these verses is a call to discernment and intentionality. Jesus is urging his listeners to carefully consider the paths they are taking and to recognize that the popular or easy route is not necessarily the right one. He warns against complacency and encourages a conscious effort to seek a deeper spiritual life, even if it means facing challenges and going against the mainstream. The metaphor of the narrow gate and difficult road serves as a reminder that true spiritual fulfillment often requires sacrifice and commitment. It emphasizes that following God's path is a deliberate choice, not a passive acceptance of societal norms or fleeting desires. The passage is a powerful call to self-reflection and a reminder that the choices we make in this life have eternal consequences.